Well, welcome back, everyone. Well, as you know, we get really involved in covering local politics. And we do Saratoga City Council meetings, we're doing the Queensbury Town Board meetings, we're doing the Warren County Board of Supervisors. Well, there's one other one out there that we want you to know more about, and of course, that's the Saratoga County Board of Supervisors. So joining me today is the chairman, Matt Veitch, and also supervisor of Saratoga Springs, right, Matt?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, great. Well, first, welcome. Real nice to have you here.
Thanks. Great to be here today.
Just for some of our viewers in the northern part of our viewing area, Saratoga County Board of Supervisors, how many supervisors and roughly what area do you cover?
So we have 23 supervisors, Saratoga County Board of Supervisors, and we cover everything from the town of Waterford in the south all the way up to the town of Hadley, Day, Edinburgh in the north. Adirondack Park is part of our county. So.
That's quite a footprint.
It's pretty large, 800 square miles, I think.
So it's like herding cats.
Yeah.
I can't stay get all these people in one room.
For the most part.
Holy mackerel, 23 supervisors. That's pretty impressive. Similar probably to Warren County. You meet once a month.
Yes, on the third Tuesday. Yes.
On the Tuesday, yeah, and then have breakout meetings over the course of the month, depending on what you need.
Several standing committees at the county. So yes.
Wow, big job. Hey, I asked Matt to come on, and we're going to do a long-form interview with Matt on Beyond the Headlines with Mike Lenz. But there were kind of three topics that we've been circling in the news that I wanted to talk a bit about with you. Let's start with kind of the easier one, which is recycling.
Sure.
A lot of changes over the years in terms of recycling and how to recycle and what's most beneficial to the county and the environment. Give me a sense of what's going on there.
Well, Saratoga County just updated their recycling. We went from a multi-stream recycling where residents had to separate out each recyclable item, bring it to the transfer station, and then they would take care of it at that point. Right. It was very expensive for the county. We were losing several $100,000 a year actually on that process. So we decided to go to a single stream recycling where residents put all of their recyclables into one bin at the recycling facility. We contract with a vendor. They come pick it up, take it to the recycling processing facility, and it's much easier that way to do it.
Well, it sure is. You know, there's a lot of people that are very conscientious about this. I know my wife and I were, but when it gets down to colored inserts in newspapers versus newspaper, it was a lot of work. The single streaming, I can tell you firsthand, you can still do the environmentally conscious thing,
right,
but it's just a lot quicker and a lot easier to do. So you're changing that over, and that's over at the Weibel Station? Is that where that is?
Right. So Saratoga County actually has several different recycling centers in the county, but the closest one to Saratoga Springs is Weibel Avenue. The city runs that essentially. So there's one section that's the city, which is where you throw your trash, your regular trash, and then the county is the recycling facility. So yeah, that's where you'd go over in Saratoga Springs if you were to do that.
If you're going to do that. Let's move on, Matt.
Sure.
The economic development area is something that you've been hard at work at, you and the supervisors. How does that work in terms of the county, and I believe you've made a hire, right?
Yes. So this is actually very recent news. Saratoga County actually formed a new economic development agency called the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership about 1.5 years ago. We have a board of directors, and we have been doing a search for a president for that organization over the past 6 months. We did a national search, and we essentially found a gentleman from Indianapolis. His name is Marty Van Eggs, and he's brand new. And he's coming on in Saratoga County to be our first president for the Prosperity Partnership. So we're looking forward to working with him and getting some things going in Saratoga County in terms of economic development.
Now, I'm sure there's a lot of crossover with other divisions of government in the county. What is this person's responsibility? Why'd you do this?
We have different economic development entities in Saratoga County. We have chambers of commerce, we have SEDC, so we have a couple of different economic development entities. And Saratoga County was looking for maybe a new path to economic development. So we formed a new prosperity partnership, the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership. It's essentially its own economic development entity, but his job is really to attract new business, keep existing businesses, grow jobs in the county, and essentially do everything that's necessary to continue to make Saratoga County grow at the pace that we've been growing. So.
Well, it sounds like it's a more efficient way to do that, because if you've got 23 supervisors and that big a footprint, having someone in EDC and responsible to you would really be a lot more efficient, can really sort of figure out where the opportunities are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the board of the Prosperity Partnership is, you know, community leaders, supervisors, so there is a government and private partnership, you know, private and public partnership crossover within that board. So it should be good going forward. Looking forward to, you know, working with this guy and, you know, really having him move us forward. So
yeah, boy, I'll tell you something. That's very, very aggressive on your part. That's great. Hey, one other one. We've been covering a lot in terms of public safety. I know you're involved right now with sheriff's departments concerning body cameras. Just give me a quick overview on what's going on there.
Sure. So Saratoga County is looking at you know, equipping our sheriff's deputies with body cameras. So the city of Saratoga Springs already does that,
yes.
And so that's a good thing for the city. But the county needs that as well. And if you remember, about maybe 6 months ago, there was an incident with one of our deputies here in Saratoga County, and we didn't really have a record on our end to kind of counteract the record from the other end that was happening out in the public. So we kind of made the decision pretty quickly that we needed to get those cameras in the hands of our deputies, really as soon as possible, but it takes some time to do that. You know, we have a public safety committee. Supervisor Phil Barrett from the town of Clifton Park is the chairman of that committee, and he has actually appointed a subcommittee to look at this. There's actually, you know, legal ramifications,
privacy,
privacy issues.
Right? Sure.
There's so many things to kind of hit on when you equip your sheriff's deputy with a body camera, that we need to really make sure we get that right before we start putting them out in the field. So his committee is working very hard on that, and they're doing a great job with that. Go ahead.
Well, no, you know, I'm just thinking there are a couple of road mines along the way on something like this. But overall, you know, we've talked to Mike Zerlo about this at length, and it really does protect everyone, provided you can make certain that you're covering all of the bases, whether they're legal bases or privacy bases.
Right.
But as recent events have shown, boy, it sure helps if you have a camera that can say, hey, here's exactly what's happened, what's going on. Well, look, Matt, we're going to have you back a lot. I thank you for making the time to come in.
Absolutely.
As I said, we're going to invite Matt to come on Beyond the Headlines with Mike Lenz. We can get into all of these in much more detail. But again, thanks, and keep us informed. Anything that's going on, we'll get you in here and we'll talk about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate being here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Matt. See this interview again? You can head to our website, looktvonline.com.